Hello everyone, welcome to your practice. My name is Leslie and I'm delighted to be leading you through your flow today. Let's begin in child's pose. If you're not already there, make your way to hands and knees. Push the knees out to the edge of your yoga mat and bring toes to touch. Allow your hips to sink back now toward your heels. Arms reach out in front of you until they can stretch no more, and then you release them and your head to the earth. Welcome. I welcome you, and I ask that you welcome yourself to your mat and to this time you have dedicated to yourself. Remember, you are here on purpose and likely with a purpose. So as you start to take long, slow inhales and complete open-mouthed exhales, shift your attention and try to detect your purpose for this practice today. Because each day is different, and you have a different body today. You've come in with a different mind and spirit today. When we can detect a purpose for what we do, we find that it gives us power to meet, greet, and perhaps even welcome our challenges. Child's pose is a rest pose. I like to call it rest and remember pose. Rest your body and remember your breath. We come to it at the start of practice to remind us to take the rest our body needs at any point during this flow. If you need to take a moment to get out of the heat, do it. Get up, walk out into the hall, and feel some cooler air. If you need a sip, take it. If you need gravity to do all the heavy lifting for a while, come to child's pose. Please develop the habit of noticing what your body is asking of you and then providing what it needs. This is so important. Only you know what you need, and only you can provide it. That said, if you want to do more than what I'm cueing, scale it up. Embrace your creativity, amp up the reps, or even go your own way. If you stay connected to your breath, you can do what you wish in this room. It's still called yoga. We'll continue now with 2 more deep cleansing breaths. Inhale and exhale with an HA. Feel your body soften as you arrive more fully on your mat. Now close your mouth and come to your ujjayi breathing, ocean wave breathing, your whisper breath. Along with your purpose, your ujjayi breath powers your flow and allows you to burn off what you no longer need and make space for what you'd like to bring in. With the next breath, we will set the foundation for downward facing dog. Bring yourself up to tabletop, crawl your hands to the front of the mat, and separate them to the outer edges of the mat. Fan your fingers wide to cover as much of the yoga mat as you can. You want to see the webbing between your fingers. Press your hands down into the mat, curl your toes, and lift your hips to the sky. Your body is now in an inverted V shape. The tip of the V is the tip of your tailbone. To broaden your base, walk your feet back a bit. Palms press down, hips lift higher, and bring a micro bend or maybe even a macro bend to the knees. The focus is not on stretching the hamstrings or calves just yet. With this first down dog of practice, we focus on finding length in the spine. Spiral the upper arms up and out and bring the front part of the rib cage up and in. Engage those abdominal wall core muscles. Take a few more deep breaths here as your sit bones point up to the space where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. For plank pose, roll your shoulders out over your hands and walk your feet back a little. Press your hands into the mat and press the balls of your feet down as well. Firm up your core, your butt, your thighs, your calves, and inhale. As you exhale, shift your weight forward, drop the knees if that would feel good, and bend your elbows as slowly as you can and lower your chest all the way down. Decompress here. For floating cobra, lift your hands, chest, and legs about an inch from the earth and breathe here. Bring attention to the back of your neck, the space between your shoulder blades, to your mid and lower back, and breathe deeply into your spine and wake it up. To return to downward dog, exhale and release your body to the earth. Inhale and press up to all fours, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths here and notice what has already been stirred up with your breath and your movement. Pressing the palms into the mat and keeping them wide to the webbing. The sits bones move higher and the arms are pulled toward the head. Let's turn this into ragdoll at the front of the mat. Inhale and lift your heels. Exhale and bend your knees deeply. Look at your hands and slowly walk to them, setting up for your ragdoll forward fold. Separate your feet to the outer edges of your yoga mat and lift your 10 toes. Opposite elbows are held by opposite hands. Keep a deep bend in your knees so your belly or chest can rest on your thighs. Allow the work you've done so far to release your lower back. Feel your middle back letting go and your upper back and neck relax. Let your head hang heavy. Stillness is what we frequently call for in ragdoll pose, where we partner with gravity to help begin opening up the back body. Sometimes, though, it can feel good to find some movement. A sway left and right might also be welcome. Explore that and see what you learn. Release your hands to the ground and heel-toe your feet together. Slowly now roll up to standing. As you rise, inhale and sweep the hands up and join them above you. Exhale and trace your hands down to prayer position. Let's join our voices to chant 3 ohms. Let's move into Sun Salutation A. Inhale and sweep your arms up above you and join your 2 hands together. Breathe here and grow taller. Lift your toes and root your heels into the earth. Feel the stretch in the left and right side body. Lift your kneecaps by engaging the quads. Draw in your navel and lift it up. Lift your sternum, look up, reach up, and breathe here for full 3 cycles of breath. Take 1 more breath in, and as you exhale, slowly swan dive forward with a deep bend in the knees to soften to the transition to forward fold. With your knees bent as much as you need, allow your hands to come to the earth right next to your toes. 10 fingers next to 10 toes. Stay here and breathe deeply. With each exhale, gently draw your face closer to your shins, compressing your chest and belly to your thighs. Inhale to halfway up and your flat back. Put hands to shins while drawing your chest forward and hips back. Lift your 10 toes to root down all 4 corners of your feet. Then bend your knees and keep them bent as you pull your sits bones up and away from the back of your knees. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and your ears away from the shoulders. Breathe deeply into your back body. As you exhale, bring both hands back to the mat and step your feet back to high plank position. Breathe here deeply. Press hands and balls of the feet into the earth. Feel your calves firm up. Engage your thighs and your glutes. Take another deep breath in and glance slightly ahead to the front of your mat. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and begin to transition all the way to the floor. Completely decompress your body to the earth. For floating cobra, lift your hands, chest, and legs an inch from the ground. For those taking upward facing dog, press the toenails into the mat. Lift your shins. Squeeze your calf muscles up into the backs of your knees. Contract your thighs and squeeze your buttocks. Press your hands into the yoga mat and firm up your straight arms. Try to float your heart space up higher. Look up if it is available to you. Take another deep breath. As you exhale from the pit of your belly, send your hips up and back to downward facing dog pose. Root your palms and knuckles into the mat and continue to float your seat higher, breathing deeply in the posture. We will next move through 2 more sun salutations A. This time, matching 1 breath to 1 movement. Your breath is your metronome. Some of you may move ahead of my cueing and others may take a slower pace. It matters not. It's your mat. It's your practice. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees deeply, look at the space between your hands, and walk your feet to meet them. Inhale to your halfway up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale and sweep up to standing position, joining your hands above you. As you exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale and plant your hands, stepping the feet back to high plank. Lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. One more time, matching breath to movement, of course. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees and look at your hands. Walk or hop your feet to meet them. Inhale to your halfway up. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale and sweep up to standing position, joining your hands above you. As you exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale and plant your hands and step the feet back for high plank. Lower halfway down. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. This is the force of life portion of your flow. This is where you stir up the breath, where you build it and then use it to fuel your practice. Notice how the volume of your breath has increased. Notice how much more movement there is in your chest and abdomen because of it. Your breath literally provides the fuel for your practice, the oxygen that nourishes your muscles and your mind. Your breath is your connection to the movement and to the flow itself. Your breath is your anchor and your grounding in now. As we move to our sun Bs, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands, and walk, step, or float to the front of your mat. Bring your feet to touch. Inhale to halfway up, and as you exhale, fold forward. For chair pose, the knees come together and bend them as you drop your hips back to knee level. With an inhale, sweep your arms up above you and breathe. Let me just say that you are all here on purpose. You asked for this. So you might as well smile through it. You might as well enjoy it as you're reaching your hands up higher and you're sinking your butt down a little bit lower. Find your smile. Congratulate you for bringing you here. Congratulate you for sitting an inch lower. Smile as you lift all 10 toes and root into the four corners of each foot. Press your knees firmly together. Grin. Sit an inch lower. You are making a straight line from your hips to your armpits and from your armpits to your fingertips. Ooh, feel your strength here. Root to rise. That means feel your foundation and sink lower into it to give you purchase to reach your arms up even higher. 2 more breaths. Fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. As you exhale, step to plank and then to your low push-up position. Inhale to your upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. For down dog splits and to prepare for warrior one pose, inhale and lift your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, look to your right hand and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Look back to your left foot and dial your heel into the center of the mat. As you inhale, bring your hands to your hips and then check in. Left heel is angled slightly back, pushing down with the pinky edge side of that foot. Right foot facing directly forward and pressing down into the ball. Right knee over the arch of the right foot. Draw your left hip forward and hug your right hip back. Inhale and sweep your arms up and join them together above you. Look up and breathe deeply from your foundation all the way up to your fingertips. With your next exhale, release to plank and to your low push-up. Inhale to your up dog pose. Exhale and press back to downward facing dog. For down dog splits on the left, inhale and lift the leg high. Look to your left hand and bring the left foot to meet the left thumb. Attention now comes to your right foot, the heel rotating in toward the center of the mat, angled slightly at about 45 degrees. Press into the pinky side edge of your right foot. Left knee is over the arch of the left foot. You're pressing into the ball of the left foot. Left hip point comes back slightly, right hip point comes forward. On an inhale, hands reach up above you and gaze follows. Hands touch, breathe deeply and feel your power. Inhale and lunge a bit deeper. With the next exhale, release your hands to the floor for your high plank position and make your way through low push-up, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog pose. We've done warrior one on each side now. You were strong, you were focused, you were beautiful. Remember this as you encounter challenges outside these doors. Remember to put your energy and focus where it best serves you. You are a warrior, not a worrier. The strength and wisdom is within you to find solutions and to find calm even as you're facing some of life's most wicked storms. You are a warrior. Remember that. Take another deep, long breath in and a big, longer HA out. And we will prepare now for the next 2 rounds of Sun Salutation B. As always, we will now match 1 breath to 1 movement. Your breath is your metronome. As I said before, some of you will want to slip ahead and some will ease back depending on what your body and your breath instructs. Inhale and lift to the balls of your feet and exhale as you travel to the front of your mat. Inhale to a flat back and exhale to your forward fold. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to a flat back and exhale to plank and low push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. We move to down dog splits on the right with an inhale and exhale to build your foundation for warrior one. Inhale and the arms rise, look up. Exhale to plank and your flow through to downward facing dog. The left foot rises with an inhale. With the exhale, place it next to the left thumb and build your foundation. Inhale, the arms rise, look up. Exhale to plank and follow your flow through to downward facing dog. Pause here. Gather yourself, come back to your breath. We have one more Sun B in the Force of Life section. Let's find our full expression of each pose as we move through this segment. Once again, matching breath to movement, inhale and lift to the balls of your feet, and exhale as you travel to the front of your mat. Inhale to a flat back, and exhale to your forward fold. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to a flat back, and exhale to plank and then low push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. Down dog splits on the right with an inhale. Exhale to build your foundation for warrior one. Inhale and the arms rise, look up, bend back. Exhale to plank and your flow through to downward facing dog. The left foot rises with an inhale. With the exhale, place it next to the left thumb and build your warrior one foundation. Inhale and the arms rise, look up, lean back, and then exhale to plank and low push-up. Inhale to upward facing dog and exhale to downward facing dog. You are welcome to rest here in down dog, or you can find a child's pose or wipe some sweat away, take a sip, or whatever your body needs at the moment. To prepare for the body of work in crescent lunge, inhale and raise your right leg back and up into down dog splits. And as you exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Remain high on the ball of your left foot. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. Hug your hips into the center line. Sweep your arms back like airplane wings and stabilize. How do you stabilize? By pushing down with the ball of the back foot and pressing into the mat with the great toe mound of the right foot. Then use your other limb, your eyes, and find something that is not moving and zone in with a soft, unfocused gaze. Stable eyes help you stabilize. Now come back to Ujjayi breathing for 2 rounds. For crescent lunge, inhale and sweep your arms up above you. Press down and root into the ball of your back left foot and draw your left hip forward. Lunge your right knee over the arch of the right foot and sink a little bit lower here and breathe. Above you, press your hands together and draw them into a prayer position. Now bring them in front of your heart. Inhale, lean forward. As you exhale, turn to your right, hooking the left elbow on the far side of the right knee. Stay here, deepening your twist, or place the left hand on the earth and reach the right hand up to the sky. Breathe here for full 3 deep breaths. As you exhale, release your hands and frame your front foot. For warrior 2, look back and dial your left heel into the center of the yoga mat. Using your core, cartwheel your left arm up and land in warrior 2. Your warrior 2 back foot is parallel to the back of the yoga mat. Bend your right knee and bring it over the arch of your right foot. Look down at your navel and chest and square them towards the wall you are facing. Engage your core. Outstretch your arms in opposite directions and reach to infinity through your fingertips. Bring your gaze over the right fingers. Breathe here for 3 full cycles of breath. Notice your strength. Notice your power. There is nothing that is not engaged in your body right now. Your feet are pressing into the mat. The inner thighs are squeezing together. The glutes are squeezing together. Bring your chin to your right shoulder and sink a little lower in your lunge. Keep the deep bend in your front foot. Flip your palm to the sky and reach it up and back to reverse your warrior. For extended side angle, reach your right arm forward and rest it on the right thigh. Slightly angle your left heel back like you did in Warrior One and reach your left arm over your head in a straight line from your back foot to the fingertips. The right knee remains over the arch of the right foot. The right buttocks is pulled under and toward the center line of the yoga mat. Turn your heart and your navel to the sky with each exhale. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. To reverse your warrior, your right knee stays deeply bent. Inhale and rise back up, stretching your front hand to the sky and back, feeling it along your entire right side body. To prepare for triangle pose, straighten your right leg. Outstretch your right hand forward until it can reach no further. Then drop your hand to the shin, to a block, or to the floor, and breathe here. Press down on your right big toe mound and press down into the pinky side edge of your left foot, rooting your feet deeper into the yoga mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and offer up your heart. Breathe deeply and completely here. For Prasarita, or wide-legged forward fold, inhale and use your top arm and your core to bring you back upright. Pivot your right foot to face the left side of the room. Catch your hips with your hands, and as you take a back bend, breathe in. As you exhale, fall forward, releasing your hands to the earth. Inhale to a flat back, and as you exhale, fold deeper into the stretch. Lift your 10 toes and press into the heels of your feet. If you feel tight, keep your knees bent as you release your head closer to the earth. Stay here for 3 breaths. Coming out of this posture, inhale to your flat back and catch your hips. With a straight spine, slowly come all the way up. For pyramid pose, rotate your right foot forward and step your back foot, the left foot, to the left a bit and bring it forward a bit as well. Square your hips forward and inhale as you sweep your arms up above you. As you exhale, swan dive over your right leg and release your hands to either side of your front foot. Press down into your right foot and press back into your left foot. If you are tight, you can keep a micro bend in your front knee. Surrender your head as close to your right shin as possible and stay here for 4 breaths. To prepare to come out, keep your hands on the floor. Inhale and lift to a flat back. As you exhale, step to plank and move through your vinyasa. We will meet all together in downward facing dog pose. We are done with one side of the body of work. Well done. Now is a good time to wipe some sweat or take a sip if that's needed. As we move to the other side, you know what's coming. You know how your breath, your drishti, and your purpose power your practice. I ask, though, that you allow yourself to be in the moment as we move forward. Try not to anticipate the next pose. Rather, stay with your breath and hear each cue as if for the first time. When you are ready, we will come together in downward facing dog. To prepare for crescent lunge on the left, inhale and raise your left leg up to down dog splits. As you exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Remain high on the ball of your right foot. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. Hug your hips into the center line. Again, squeeze your glutes, engage your core, squeeze your thighs. Sweep the arms back like airplane wings and stabilize yourself, taking a few deep breaths here. Remember how a drishti gaze can help you stabilize in this position. Press down into the left great toe mound. Press down with the ball of the right foot. This is your foundation. Again, engage your glutes and make sure the abdominal core muscles are online. For crescent lunge, inhale and sweep your arms up above you. Shoulders over hips. Arms lift up, reach up, and eyes follow. Breathe. Press down and root into the ball of the back right foot and draw your right hip forward. Lunge your left knee over the arch of the left foot, and the left hip is drawn back. Sink a little lower and breathe here. Above you, press your hands together and draw your hands down to prayer position in front of your heart. Inhale, lean forward. As you exhale, turn to your left, hooking the right elbow over the shelf of the left knee. Stay here, deep in your twist. Or place the right hand on the earth and reach the left hand up to the sky. Take 3 deep breaths here. As you exhale, your hands come and frame your front foot. For warrior 2, look back and dial your right foot into the center of the yoga mat. Cartwheel your right arm up, engaging your core, and build your warrior 2. The back foot comes parallel to the back of your yoga mat. Bend your left knee and bring it over the arch of the left foot. Look down at your navel and chest and square them towards the wall you are facing. Stretch out your arms opposite one another and rest your gaze on the tips of your left fingers. Breathe deeply here for 3 cycles. Let the shoulders fall a bit to be more easeful, but the arms continue to reach away from one another. Feel the strength of your base, your solid feet pressing into the mat, your legs holding you in this deep lunge. Your core is strapping you in and lifting your upper body higher. Your arms are powerful and reaching end to end. 1 more cycle of breath to prepare for reverse warrior. Keep the bend in your front leg, flip your palm to the sky, reach it up and back to reverse your warrior. For extended side angle, stretch your left arm forward and rest it on the left thigh. Slightly angle your right heel back like you did in Warrior 1 and reach your right arm over your head in a straight line from your back foot to the fingertips. The left knee remains over the left ankle or arch of the left foot. The left buttocks is pulled under and toward the center line of the yoga mat. Turn your heart and your navel to the sky with each exhale. With your inhales, lengthen your spine. To reverse your warrior, keep your left knee bent deeply. Inhale and rise back up, stretching your front hand to the sky and back, feeling it along your entire left side body. To prepare for triangle pose, straighten your left leg. Outstretch your left hand forward until it can reach no further, then drop your hand to the shin, to a block or to the floor, and breathe here. Press down on your left big toe mound and press down into your pinky side edge of your right foot. Rooting your feet deeper into the yoga mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, breathe deeply, Breathe completely here. For prasarita, or wide-legged forward fold, inhale and use your top arm and your core to bring you back upright. Pivot your left foot to face the right side of the room. Catch your hips with your hands as you take a backward bend. Breathe in. As you exhale, fall forward, releasing your hands to the earth. Inhale to a flat back, and as you exhale, fold deeper into the stretch. Lift your 10 toes and press into the heels of your feet. If you feel tight, keep your knees bent as you release your head closer to the earth. Stay here for 3 breaths. Coming out of this posture, inhale to your flat back and catch your hips. With a straight spine, slowly come all the way up. For pyramid pose, rotate your left foot forward and step your right foot to the right and bring it forward a bit as well. Square your hips forward and inhale as you sweep your arms up above you. As you exhale, swan dive over your left leg and release your hands to either side of your front foot. Press down into your left foot and press back into your right foot. If you are tight, you can keep a micro bend in your front knee. Let your head dangle as close as it can to your left shin and stay here for 4 breaths. To prepare to come out, keep your hands on the floor. Inhale and lift to a flat back. And as you exhale, step to plank and move through your vinyasa. We will all meet together in downward facing dog pose. To get to the front of the mat for our balance portion, inhale and come to your tiptoes. Exhale and bend your knees as you look forward. Slowly walk or float to your hands. Inhale to a halfway up and exhale to a forward fold. Inhale and rise to a standing position. As you exhale, bring your hands to the place just in front of your heart. To prepare for stroke pose, inhale and lift your right knee up and catch it with your right hand, just below the knee on your shin. Outstretch the left arm like you are halting traffic. Press your left foot into the yoga mat and squeeze your left glute. Align your head and shoulders and back over your hips and breathe deeply in and out. To open, as you inhale, draw your right knee out to the right side. And to further challenge your balance, glance over your left hand and breathe as deeply and as fully here as you can. As you draw your right knee back to center, release the knee, hovering it at hip level. Find a non-moving object for your soft gaze, a drishti. Allow your arms to come by your sides. For airplane pose, inhale and sweep your right leg and arms back and take flight. Keep your chest open and breathing audible. Keep a micro bend in your left knee. Press your right heel back and engage your right glute muscle, lifting your back leg up a little higher, and bring a lift to your chest like an upward facing dog. Spread your hands and breathe deeply and fully. Take another deep breath in. Bring your foot to the mat and come to standing. To move to stork pose on the other side, inhale and lift your left knee up and catch it with your left hand, just below the knee on your shin. Outstretch your right arm like you are halting traffic. Press your right foot into the yoga mat and squeeze your right glute muscle. Align your head and shoulders back and over your hips and breathe deeply in and out. To open, as you inhale, draw your left knee out to the left, and to further challenge your balance, glance over your right hand and breathe as deeply and as fully as you can. As you draw your left knee back to center, release the knee, hovering it at hip level. Find a drishti. Allow your arms to come by your sides. For airplane pose, inhale and sweep your left leg and arms back like wings and take flight. Keep your chest open and your breathing audible. Keep a micro bend in your right knee. Press your left heel back and engage your left glute muscle, lifting that back leg up a little higher, and bring a lift to your chest as an upward facing dog. Spread your hands and breathe deeply and fully. With another deep breath in, as you exhale, bring your left foot to the mat and come to standing. To conclude our balance portion, we will move through a single round of tree pose. Raise your right leg and catch the ankle if it's available to you. Place the right foot on the inner thigh, the calf, or kickstand it at your ankle. Draw your shoulders back over your hips and take your arms above you. Breathe here deeply. As you exhale, bring your arms to prayer and place your right foot next to the left. For the other side, raise your left leg and catch the ankle, again, if it's available to you. Place the left foot on the inner thigh, the calf, or kickstand it at the ankle. Draw your shoulders back over your hips and take your arms above you. Breathe here deeply. As you exhale, bring your arms to your side and place your left foot next to the right. Tadasana. To begin our core and spinal toning, inhale and sweep your arms up. Exhale and swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale to your halfway up with a flat back. Exhale and step to plank. And bring one cheek down to the mat. Arms come by your side, palms up. One of our core muscles is the transverse abdominis muscle. It is the corset muscle that wraps around the front and back of our mid-body and holds and hugs our internal organs. This is the cinching muscle that draws everything in like a corset. You are engaging it now. Place the other cheek on the mat. Everything we do in yoga involves core and spinal toning work. We're just taking a few moments here to emphasize how important this area is to a yoga practice and to a healthy body. To prepare for locust pose or Shalabhasana A, bring your chin to the mat and turn your palms to face the earth. Zip your legs together, toes touch, heels touch, knees touch, and on your inhale, lift your legs, chest, arms, head, and then lift your gaze. Breathe. Press the hip points and the pubis down into the earth. This is your foundation. Your heart moves forward and toes reach back. With the next full breath in, lift higher. And with the exhale, let it all come down to the yoga mat. One cheek to the earth. For Shalabhasana B, interlace your hands together or hold a towel between your fists at the base of your spine. With a deep inhale, lift your head, your chest, your hands, and legs off the earth. Your two legs are one leg, zipped up the middle. Bring your gaze up and reach your hands back to the wall behind you. Breathe. Again, your foundation are your two hip points and your pubis. They push down into the ground. Breathe. Bring yourself an inch higher on the inhale. You are all looking so strong. Now, exhale to the mat and decompress. You can swish, windshield wiper your legs to reset the low back now. That might feel good. For bow pose, bend your knees and grab your shins, ankles, or the tops of your feet. As you take a deep breath in, lift your chest, and with the exhale, press your feet toward the sky. Breathe. Your gaze goes skyward, and with it, your heart and toes. Before you release, take your biggest breath yet and lift to your highest point. As you exhale, slowly release your entire body to the mat with your opposite cheek down. Windshield wiper the legs here. Before we transition to our back, let's come now to an upward facing dog pose. Your hands come alongside your ribs. On an inhale, lift to your biggest upward facing dog posture. Breathe. Bring your attention to your navel, and from this point, with an exhale, push your hips up to the ceiling into that inverted V shape. We are here for just a moment. The knees come back down to the ground, then crawl to the front of your yoga mat and swivel your legs around to face forward, and then come down to your back. If wheel is in your practice, please take it, especially if that would feel good. To set up for bridge pose, bend your knees and keep them hip width distance apart. The heels come back to graze the fingertips. As you inhale, press your feet into the mat. Your shoulders and head press into the earth and give you purchase to lift your hips toward the ceiling. Open your heart and feel it moving closer to your chin. Breathe here. One more. Big, deep, full inhale, and stay for the exhale. Then come down and release. Now for round 2. For those choosing wheel, go forward. For those coming into a second bridge pose, you might try clasping your hands together beneath the glutes and then rolling the shoulders under you a bit. Press down into your feet again. Press into your hands, your arms, your shoulders, and your head, and use that strong foundation as a counterforce to pick up your hips, up to the ceiling. Feel the stretch in the hip flexors. Feel the sternum reaching for your chin. Feel the opening in the whole front of your body. Feel your strength. Before you release, take one more full, deep, rich breath in and climb a bit higher, and then let it out completely as you return to the earth. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and place one hand on your belly and one on your chest. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath. With your palms, bring the knees together at the midline and stretch the legs long down the mat. We are going to do hover circles. Legs come straight up like a waterfall or candlestick pose, and the arms are in a T on each side on the floor. Lower legs to hover, then sweep them out, around, and up back to waterfall. We will do 5 of these. Hover. Sweep back and around, up to waterfall. Down to hover. Sweep back and around and up to waterfall. 3 more times here. Now we're going to reverse this. We'll begin in the hover position, low to the floor, and then you will bring your legs straight up to waterfall and then circle out from the top and down to hover. We will do this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done and not easy. To work the oblique abdominal muscles, bend your knees and plant the soles of your feet on your mat. Lift your shoulders, straighten your arms, and alternate tapping the right and left heels with your hands. So you're using your core to shift right and shift left as your upper body hovers off of the ground. We'll do this for 30 seconds, and I'll keep track of the time so you don't have to. You're doing great. 15 seconds remaining. 10. 5. And you're done. Bring your feet long down the mat and rest here, gathering yourself for a moment. At this point in the process, we're going to start cooling down by getting upside down for a moment. To move into candlestick pose, inhale and raise your legs vertically, like you're resting them on an imaginary wall. Keep your lumbar spine or your low back on the earth. If you can straighten your legs, then please do so. If not, keep them bent, allowing all the work you've done so far to drain from your legs. If shoulder stand is in your practice, bring your arms alongside your hips and press your palms down into the earth. Bring your gaze to your midline. Shimmy your elbows and shoulders together if you can, and using your abdominal muscles and the press of your hands at the low back, send your hips skyward. Press your head and the back of your shoulders, your triceps and elbows into the earth. Engage your glutes and press your legs up toward the ceiling. For plow pose, take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly lower your legs back behind you to the earth. Breathe deeply, allowing your neck, shoulders, and spine to release. Do not move your head. No rotating side to side. To come out, replace the arms to the mat, palms face down. And utilizing your arms and abdominal muscles, slowly allow your spine to unfold back to the earth. Rest here with knees bent and your feet on the earth. As we move to open our hips, you may want to remain on your backs for figure 4 pose. If that's the case, stay here on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, creating a figure 4 shape. Reach your right hand through the triangle you created and your left arm to your left leg and interlace your fingers around your left shin. If you want to move on to half pigeon pose as your hip opener, bring your knees into your chest and rock to the flat of your feet and then back to the nape of your neck about 3 or 4 times, gaining some momentum. And then hop or step back to plank. From plank pose, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, release to your low plank pose. Inhale to your upward facing dog, and exhale back to downward facing dog. For half pigeon pose, raise your right leg up and draw your right knee to your right wrist. Place your back left knee down and walk your right ankle over to your left wrist. Begin to slide your back leg toward the back of the yoga mat, sinking into your half pigeon posture. Come down to your hands and rest your head on the earth if it's available to you. Breathe deeply and fully. We will be here for about 10 breaths. If you were on your back, you're simply going to switch up your legs. To come out of half pigeon, bring your hands where your elbows are and lift your chest like an upward facing dog. As you exhale, step back to your down dog. For half pigeon on the left side, raise your left leg up and draw your left knee to your left wrist. Place your back right knee down and walk your left ankle over to your right wrist. Begin to slide your back right leg toward the back of the yoga mat, sinking into your half pigeon posture on the left side. Come down to your elbows or outstretch your arms, resting your head on the earth. To come out of half pigeon, bring your hands to where your elbows are and lift your chest like an upward facing dog. As you exhale, step back to downward dog. For seated forward fold, come down to all fours and crawl to the back of the yoga mat. And then swivel your legs around to be in front of you. Bring your hands alongside your hips and press your straight arms down into the mat to root your sits bones and elongate your spine. Inhale and sweep your arms up. As you exhale, reach forward, hinging from your hips. Grab your ankles or your feet and inhale to a halfway up, elongating your spine. As you exhale, fold forward over your legs. Pull your sits bones back, press your feet forward, and ground the backs of your knees into the earth. Breathe deeply here, and each time you exhale, release your upper body closer to your legs. We will be here for 5 breaths. Before coming out of this pose, take another deep breath in and stretch any degree deeper that you can. And then inhale to lift halfway up. Exhale to come all of the way up. For reverse plank, set your hands at least a foot behind you toward the back of the mat. Your hands are spaced wider than your hips and rotate the palms outward to face the outsides of your yoga mat. Bring your attention to your navel, engage your glutes, and with an inhale, press down with the heels of your palms and lift your body, creating a board-like plank from heels all the way up to your head. If it might feel good, you can allow the crown of your head to fall gently toward the earth. Take 2 full breaths here. If you have released your head down, lift it up now and then return your body to the mat by slowly bending the knees. For the final spinal twist, draw your knees into your chest for a deep squeeze. Roll side to side and eventually allow your knees to drop to the left, outstretching your arms like wings. Take your left hand on top of your right knee and gently push the leg down to deepen the twist. Your gaze goes to the opposite hand. To come out, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, draw your knees back into center. For the other side, drop your knees to the right, outstretching your arms again like wings, and take your right hand to the top of your left knee and gently push down on the leg to deepen the twist on this side. Your gaze goes to the opposite hand. To come out, breathe, and as you exhale, draw your knees back into the center. For your final resting posture, outstretch your legs forward on the earth and bring them together. Raise your arms up overhead and lengthen your spine from your hands to your heels. Arch your back, stretch your belly, and breathe deeply into a newfound length of your physical frame. Lift your head and look down at your body. Make sure it is straight and aligned with your yoga mat. Lower your head, release your arms by your side with your palms face up. Allow your legs to separate to the edges of your mat. Allow your arms to release next to your body with your palms facing up. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Take the tongue from the roof of the mouth and turn yourself over to gravity and sink into your mat. Shavasana. Come back to this room now. Come back to your breath and start taking small movements with your fingers and toes. Rock your head gently from side to side. Raise your arms over your head and stretch from end to end. Draw your knees into your chest and squeeze your legs tight. Tip over to your right side and into the fetal pose. And rest here for a moment or two, acknowledging what you have gifted to yourself today. When you're ready, come up to a seated position at the front of your mat and join your hands at heart center. We will close our practice chanting 3 ohms together. Inhale to prepare. Thumb knuckles to eyebrow center and look within. The miracle of life and light within me sees the miracle of life and light within each one of you. We bow to one another and say, Namaste.